Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this very special episode. It's not Rotor Talk Live, but we have the DJI Mini 2. We're gonna have a release party here. Um, Hope everyone's doing well on this Wednesday evening. And there are always everyone's a winner when they come here. And for those of us who are going to get the Mini 2, you're all going to be winners. So just want to let you know that because I know the election results. A lot of people are happy, a lot of people are not. So just want to let you know it's going to place to take your mind off of some things. Okay. Um, I'm joined by myself tonight. From what I understand, Ron and Marcus were going to try to secure their Mini 2 at Best Buy tonight, although I know my Best Buy closes at 8 o'clock, so that's not a possibility. So what we have coming up here tonight at 8 o'clock, there is a video, a premiere video that DJI has out at 8 o'clock tonight, and it's called Make Your Moments Fly. And of course, so those you see the cover pictures. There's two gentlemen with the glider, and I've actually had some people say that's the new Mini 2, and just kind of pulling the leg there is kind of a thing. So, but we're looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. Fly Zone Drone, welcome. Thanks for showing up tonight for this. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's always a great day whenever a new drone gets released, and the timing is great because we have Black Friday's coming up, and conversely, what that's going to mean is, and this was something I wanted to talk about before, that the release video, if you want to call it that, before that comes up, um, you know, it will mean good things for the original Mini because it will be discounted, of course, and you'll be able to get some great deals on it for Black Friday for the holidays. So, and it's a win-win. And for those of us who have had the Mini before, it's a step up for us. A lot of people are talking about the 4K, of course. The one thing that has intrigued me from the start was when I found out from Manuel, when he posted that it has OcuSync 2.0, and that's going to be something that I think everybody's going to really enjoy here. I'm really looking forward to it. One of the other things that it's going to be interesting is to see any other discounts that DJI is going to have on some products here. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to say sometimes. You don't know if DJI is going to have some or not. See who else is here. Fernando Cornelius, Canadian Drone Life. My beautiful wife is here. Stephen Ewing, welcome tonight. Intel and Maxwell Rotors, welcome. Johnny Droneflower, Johnny, welcome tonight. Michael Wright's here. Let's see who else here. AM Vanderween from Holland. Thank you for stopping by tonight. My good friend Ray Kelly is on board tonight. DumbTube is here. Welcome. Glad to see you tonight. Yeah, we got Canadian Drone Pilot is here. Glad to see you tonight. We're gonna have some fun. This is gonna be interesting. Alan Pisa is here tonight. And I don't know what this release is going to entail. My guess is it's going to be the promo video that we're going to see here at 8 o'clock, and this is what we're going to do at 8 tonight. Is I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys. One of the things that we did find out from Manuel is apparently this is not. Well, I'm going to go on and say this. There's no rotor guards with this, prop guards, and because of that, probably it's going to be discouraged as far as it's probably going to be discouraged as far as your flying indoors here. So, but yeah, that video is coming up. We got that. I hope everybody enjoyed watching the rebroadcast last night of the Rotor Talk Live 10,000 subscriber episode. I think we had an awful lot of fun with that. I know I sure did, and I hope you guys did as well. It was very good here. I'm having some issues with the camera. Let's see if I can get that fixed here. Hope that's better, guys. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if this is better. I think it looks better from what I'm seeing right now, but we don't know that. We did get some pricing on this. It's going to be $5.99 for the Flymore combo, and that's always a great deal. And that's one of the things that I always encourage you, if you're able to afford that, is to do that, because you get a total of 3 batteries with that. You get a charging hub with that. There's going to be a nice case that's going to come with that as well. It's always great value. Yeah, Rich Flyer. That's what I'm seeing here. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to get this taken care of, and like I said, I don't know what's causing that here. So, okay, I'm trying to adjust the camera. Can you make your screen smaller? Well, here, let's do this. Here's something I think I can do this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a share screen. And when I do that, let's go ahead and share that. Yeah, that might tune me in a little better here. And I'll put this up here for now. This is coming up, like I said, at 8 o'clock tonight, and they have 953 people waiting for this. That's pretty incredible, guys. that really is. Hope this is better. Let me know if this does look better here. But your logo is fine. Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I've had some issues with this camera, and I think we may be looking at getting a new camera here. That's for sure. Christmas is coming up, so never say never about that. But again, if you can go ahead and get this with the Flymore kit, that's going to, you'll save some money over buying like 2 other batteries at retail price and a case at retail price and a charging hub at retail price. It is quite a significant savings over buying all that separately and adding it onto it. Now, of course, if you can only afford to get the drone, you do get the battery with it, and you do get a cable to go ahead and charge it as well. But my suggestion is always, if you can do that. One of the other things that I do suggest, if you're going to be getting one, and whether it's through DJI or Best Buy or B&H, whoever your retailer of choice is, one of the things that I could highly recommend is going ahead and getting a SD card with it. It's one of those things you can never have too many of. And, you probably pay a little bit more, but that's okay. You get one. I know DJI does it, and I know Best Buy will do it as well. The SD card matches up for the drone. It's something that I think will be good and something that will match up for you. So I think that will be something that will be a key for that. And again, that's something I encourage you guys to go ahead and look at and get if you're going to go ahead and get this. Now, with Best Buy, what they normally would do, and this is, I'm imagining, they do have these in stock because, obviously we saw Manuel with his, and we're going to have, there was another gentleman who had purchased one, but one of the questions, and, I don't know, and maybe somebody can let me know, available to purchase now, just purchased mine from DJI. Okay, Arizona Drone Dude said they are available right now. So, maybe you can go out to the Best Buy website or to go or to DJI's website and go ahead and be able to get that. Yeah, the SD card has to be faster than the 4K bitrate. Yeah, and that's a very make sure that it stays and that it acquires the home point and everything. And then I get it up to probably about 25, 30 feet, and I go out and I do some maneuvers. I like to check the yaw. I like to check the back and the forth. I like to check the ascent and the descent. Just a few basic things with that. Get it up to altitude. Get it recording. Get it out over the lake. Make some turns with it. Come back. Try. Return to home. Make sure that works. Just some basic functions with that. That's one of the things that I like to do when I do a shakedown like this. And I think, for me, that's always worked very well. And, if there's anything that's wrong, it's gonna rise to the surface during during times like that. So I think that's kind of important to do something like that. It's when you get into the second and third and fourth flights, you start to experiment with some of the other features. Now, like to see in the chat, I know you guys know all about this drone. Really like to see what's your favorite feature on this. Okay, is it the 4K? Is it the OcuSync 2.0? Is it the 10-kilometer distance with this? Is it the new wind rating? What are your thoughts, guys? I'm real interested to hear that, because the reason that I sold the original Mavic Mini was because of the wind, and I live in an area that's considered pretty windy. Well, DJI has listened, and that's one of the things you have to give DJI a lot of credit for, is they listen to their customers, and they go out and then they make improvements. And this is something that they obviously did here. I'm going to pass the Skydio Zone order batch 4. Okay, good thing, Jeep Dogs. Let us know when you get that. I know a lot of people have waited a long time for those. Real interested to see what you guys think. And if you don't, leave them here in the chat, later on in the comments section, let me know. Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, I'm good. I'm glad you went ahead and were able to order that. A lot of people have to be able to do that through DJI, but it's fortunate, Best Buy had them in stock, and obviously, they got there ahead of time, and Manuel got very lucky, as you're able to see that. And if you get a chance, watch the video and watch his video. The link is on my interview with him, and go out and subscribe to his channel. He is just a wonderful guy. He was one of those things. He was in the right place at the right time. And, I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to check his channel out. He's going to be putting more content out there. I think that will be great. 4K and the OcuSync also can handle the wind pretty well. It says, Fly Zone drone. Yeah, I really think so. Kind of question for everybody, and this was something I forgot to do. I just, one of those crazy days today. Has anybody went out there to look to see if the app has been updated for either Android or iOS? I did not have that opportunity. I don't know if any of you guys had saw that. Billy Cow and Flypath have their videos up. Okay. All right. So obviously JSK, thank you. They probably used a beta version, I would guess. Do you guys do any of you know if that's out there? If it is, go ahead and post that in the chat, because I think everybody would like to know if that's out there. Also, who's going to be able, who's looking to go ahead and get this? That would be interesting. Oh, Jaybird, thank you. Now, is that update for both iOS and Android, Jaybird? You could post that in the chat. That'd be great. Hemtech, thanks for showing up tonight. It's always exciting whenever DJI really iOS app has been updated. DumbTube, thank you for that information. So at least iOS has been updated, and Chad B posted about an update on the Fly app for the Mini 2. Thank you, JSK Enterprise. So that's great news. Thank you guys for that information. Make sure if somebody's asking you about that they know that the app has been updated as well too. So, and one of the things that I highly recommend, when you're getting a new drone, and one of the things that I like to do and include on my videos, Hemtech, I just ordered mine on Best Buy. It's also on DJI's website. I imagine B&H Photo would probably have it. And we're going to be joined by Mr. Ron Brown.
Hello, Bill. How are you tonight? I'm the proud owner of a Mavic Mini 2.
Yes, I am as well. You probably can't see it, but I ordered it on my phone tonight. We just found out in the chat that both the iOS app and the Android app have updates for DJI Fly. So it's ready to go.
I got some information at 10 a.m. this morning. I looked at my iPhone, and if you pull down from the top, it updates your most recent updates in the update thing, and there was no update for the Fly. But by 5 of 11, the iOS update was was updated in that thing. So it happened between 10 and 11 this morning for iOS.
Okay, good. Yeah, and somebody else posted Androids out there too. So I mean, that's fantastic. And
so all those people like Manuel now can fly their early purchases.
yeah, that had to be probably one of the most frustrating. And I asked him, and he agreed. It was so frustrating because he's able to get it, charge it up, and can't fly.
Well,
that obviously was something.
Hopefully, he had a slow day at work today, so he can get out there and get the first flight in.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. Now, for those of us who live in the United States, we had daylight savings time. And now it's 6 o'clock at night. It's dark outside, and it's like, okay, so that kind of narrows the window of being able to fly. Maybe I can sneak outside at lunchtime to be able to do that, or on the weekends because this time of the year, it's dark early, and you get out. It's I'm done with work, and by the time I'm done with work and eat dinner, it's 6 o'clock, and then it's dark outside. So
somebody's got to tell DJI to stop releasing these drones after daylight savings time goes away.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll ping Frank Wang and let him know that daylight savings time is changing. Don't put out drones after we lose all our light.
Yeah, it would have been good to to maybe done this in early October. That would have helped. That would have been pretty nice. Been able to do that. I would have liked that. I thought.
I know I kind of interrupted you, and maybe you're going to repeat because you've told other people. But what was your process for acquiring the drone?
I went ahead. I got mine on Best Buy.
Yes. Use the app or the website?
I used the app on my phone.
Okay.
And it was seamless. Now I did go out to DJI first to take a look. Someone in the chat mentioned that, and it said it would ship 2 days after cleared payment, and Best Buy had it available immediately for pickup tomorrow. So
I had the same scenario, but it told me, it said order fast because there's only 2 left. At my Best Buy. Yeah, actually, unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town tomorrow, so I had to have it shipped. But guess what? It's gonna ship here Friday. Free shipping. 2 days will be here Friday.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna head.
So if you told people for a couple drones in a row now, if speed is of a concern, you want to go with Best Buy.
Oh, absolutely. Because it was like this, Ron. I think the first time that I noticed this was with Best Buy was the original Osmo Pocket. That's when they went ahead and they stocked them in the stores. And I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Bill Thomas had put a picture out where all these pallets had the Osmos on them, and they were wrapped with shrink wrap, kind of a thing.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm really, that really kind of clued me in that Best Buy is partnered with DJI in releasing their products, and I think this is fantastic because, like you said, you want to go out there and get that. I think this is great. And
I think we learned on a couple of releases, and especially the last one, the Air 2, when you order directly from DJI, your drone starts in China.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing you get it here as quick as they can after what we've seen from Banggood and GearBest. But you order directly from DJI, your drone originally goes out from China. I mean, it may leave that day, but it's not coming on a carrier boat, but it's coming all the way from China. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not sending you one sitting here in the U.S. warehouse, which is kind of funny. But I guess from a financial standpoint, it is wiser. Now, again, if you order this as a gift for a loved one, a holiday gift, you don't care if it comes this week, next week, or whatever. But so go ahead and order from DJI. But if it's for your own personal use and you want to get it before you've seen somebody 100 videos of somebody else flying it, Best Buy's your friend, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Rell asked a great question. Do you think DJI will combo the smart controller with the Mavic Air 2? That's always possible for the holidays. I wouldn't say no to that.
And of course, we haven't seen it with the Air 2 yet. So, and you would think if it was a combo coming, the Air 2 would be the first combo with it. Well, we've already know the Mavic 2 Pro was a combo with it. That we know that. And was that combo? I already forget, Bill. I think I ordered directly from DJI for the Mavic 2 Pro combo smart controller. But was that ever available at retail stores like Best Buy? Was that just sitting on the shelves at Best Buy? Or I know Best Buy could probably special order it for you, but could you just wander in a random Best Buy store and the the smart controller kit sitting right there on the shelf, or was that
I didn't see them there, Ron. Yeah, I didn't see them there because all I saw was the Mavic 2, the Pro, and the Zoom, but I didn't see the kit with the smart controller in that. And
you probably remember my unboxing from it's almost 2 years ago. It's been a while now when I got the smart controller. And I even though I was getting an old drone at that point, a drone that was 8-9 months old, I still did the unboxing because very few people had unboxings of the Mavic 2 Pro smart controller kit. It was rare to see that unboxing.
Yeah, because a lot of people didn't do that. And, one of the things I found real interesting, and this was something, because you don't have the original controller with it. I know a lot of people, when they bought a smart controller, they ended up selling their Mavic 2 regular controller. And I know, for example, Ken Dono, he said he did that. And, when we met the Fly one time, and he's just like, you know what, I should have kept this. He said, I made some quick money on it, which was good, but it comes handy in a pinch for some reason. If the smart controller isn't charged up, or for some other reason it's not available, you always have the original controller available as a backup.
And I'm in the opposite boat of Ken. When a Mavic 3 arrives at some point, and I want to upgrade for the Mavic 2 Pro. And I still want to keep the smart controller, I have to sell the Mavic 2 Pro without a controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in fact, I may look in the next the next couple months. I may look around eBay for a Mavic 2 standard controller. So when I do move the Mavic 2 Pro on, I can include that controller and keep the smart controller.
Yeah, that would. And see, that's the thing for when you're going to sell that, and that's smart to think about that ahead of time, Ron. Because when you're selling that, people are going to ask, does it come with a controller? And you're going to say no. And it's going to be like, because when you buy a drone, you want the whole package. You want to get the drone and the smart and the controller with it as well. And when you don't have that, when it's separated, that makes it much more difficult to sell something like that.
Right. The only person I would appeal to is somebody that else had bought the smart controller bundle, and they've had a flyaway or crash with their Mavic 2 Pro, and all they need is the drone and not the controller.
The drone itself,
the controller is fine or whatever. But I know that's the edge case scenario there. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I said before you came on, and I couldn't emphasize this enough, was a lot of people, when they go ahead and they're excited and they end up buying a new drone, one of the things that they don't do and they easily forget about is the SD card that comes with the drone. So a lot of times I recommend, a lot, on the page, it has an SD card that's going to be recommended for it. I know DJI does it, and I also know Best Buy does it. Click that thing, throw it in your cart. You'll have it when the drone comes. You don't have to worry about, I got to order another one from Amazon, or I got to steal one out of my Mavic 2. You don't have to do that. It's there. It's available for you to use.
The worst thing to do would be have this brand new drone and you can fly, but you can't get any video because you don't have an SD card around or whatever. Yeah. And I don't think that I haven't read the specs yet because I just ordered and jumped right on. But I don't think this has internal memory like we have in our Pro or our Air 2.
I don't think it does either.
Like if you got the Pro or the Air 2 and you forgot the memory card, you could still turn the resolution down to 1080p, and you could shoot forever on that 8 gig internal.
Oh yeah, that lasts a long time, and that's a wonderful thing.
It doesn't last long on 4K 60, but it lasts a long time on 1080p 30.
Yeah, that would definitely be something that's good. And one of the other things that I was talking about as well before you joined was this is the timing on this is fantastic because what is going to happen for Christmas is the original Mavic Mini is going to be on sale, and they'll put some really good deals together around the holidays, Black Friday and for Christmas and everything. So it's going to be a win for everybody.
Definitely right. Anybody looking to get into a drone at a low price, and even people looking to pick up good, lightly used models on eBay and so on, they'll probably get loaded up with them. Did you get to check the specs at all on DJI's website? There was a couple things in there that was kind of a little surprising.
No, I did not. I didn't get a chance to do that because I had.
I know you were on air when it felt right.
Yeah. I was on air when it came out.
So. I mean, this thing looks so good that I think they're going to steal sales away from their own drone, the Mavic Air 2, which is no big deal because Apple's done the same thing over the year. They'll put a product out that steals sales from their own, another competing product, and they're fine with that. But did you see, even in the iOS update, it has the ability that you can connect the phone and your app directly to the drone without the controller involved and move pictures and video over transfer at a high speed rate faster than you would plugging it in or whatever, I guess, to the computer. That was number one, and I don't think any other drone kind of has that capability. You can plug all your drones into the computer, but and you can send files on many drones, but not this high speed connection. And also, it has this enhanced photo thing where it'll kind of Photoshop your photos for you in the app. That I've never seen that feature before in a drone. So there are two. It has another feature where if say you shoot a video, we've all done this. You go out and shoot maybe 20 minutes of video, and there's one particular minute of that video that you got something really good in it, but that thing sits on your memory card until you get time to get home and edit the whole thing. There's a real good clip could not be seen for a week. This has the ability to go in and you could just isolate that one little, like say, minute or two of your video and bring that out and immediately upload it.
That's fantastic.
This is going to be like a beginner's dream drone, Bill.
Oh, it is. I mean, with
not just beginners, even people like you and I, we're going to love these features when we're on the go.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's when I went up to Ohio a year ago, I put it in its case and I put it in my overnight bag, and it was it made it like super easy to take with it, and everything was in there. Had the batteries, the charger, everything I needed, and it was good. One of the other things that it doesn't have prop guards, and I asked Manuel about that, and he said no, it doesn't with the Firmware kit. So be cautious if you're flying this inside is all I have to say, because obviously you don't have the obstacle avoidance, and because without that take it at your own risk. Okay, is one of those things.
I definitely understand. I know you flew indoors when you did that test last year, but to be honest, Bill, outside of the tele or whatever, I never fly anything indoors.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, I tried the Spark and I got lucky because it didn't happen, but I learned my lesson with the original Mavic Pro because I have a dark floor, and with a dark floor and the sensors, it doesn't recognize it, so there's no spatial, and it just next thing you know, it was on its own, and then it hit the wall, and yeah, it was just.
Bill, if you want to do any indoor flying, just go get that little Tello, and the
Tello
is like a champ. And even if it would get out of control and you couldn't do much damage, but believe me, it doesn't. It hovers like a little champ. Just make sure you have the lights on, and it's not going anyplace.
Yeah, that would be the drone to definitely use as far as flying indoors. Ron, and we talked about this here before you joined. One of the other things I wanted to ask you was, what do you think is going to be your favorite feature? What are you looking forward to the most on this compared to the original Mini?
Well, one of the things I'm looking forward to, the thing that always held me back on using the Mini was, of course, not being good in the wind, and you had the same issues as me. You live in a windy environment. You talked about this the other night. I live in a windy environment. I'm going to say 10 months out of the year. In July and August, when it is as hot as can be around here, you can't get a breeze. But the rest of the year, when you're not hot, then the breeze is blowing all. So when you want a breeze, you can't get it. So the big difference to me, I will be able to fly it more. And I've heard, from little birdies that that it's going to be much better in the wind than we think it is.
I think so too. With
and even if you've watched a little promo video that DJI just put out, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not only just mentioning it's going to win, they're making a big deal of it in the video. So they're not going to make a big deal of the video if they're afraid everybody's going to go out and fly and lose in the wind. So I can pretty much assure you that this is going to be, much better in the wind, enough that you're not going to have to sell it because it can't handle wind.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I did play that promo video before you joined us as well, and I saw that in there, and they did emphasize that was up there, that was big, and they were real crystal clear about that. So I mean, all in all, having that wind, and I think for me, besides the wind, the OcuSync 2.0 is something that really kind of grabbed my attention because flying down that one end of the lake, with a Wi-Fi drone, I hit that certain area, and like I told you and Marcus, with the Fimi, it's that dead zone and it'll cut out. And the same thing happened with the original Mini because it's Wi-Fi. It hit that dead zone, it cuts out, and I got to bring it back. And here with OcuSync, you don't even think twice. Just fly down.
Of course, they go hand in hand because it was so bad in the wind. I didn't really take it that far because you wanted to make sure it got back. So the OcuSync and the wind performance almost are working hand in hand to make this a much superior product.
Oh yeah, and combined out with the flight time, the 31 minutes on there. I'm going
to help you out. The camera improvements, not only the 4K, but you see it has panoramic photos. It has stuff we've learned to come to love on our more advanced drones have now gone down to this one.
That's incredible. I mean, this thing, it's like you read it. The more I've read about it up until tonight, and I'm definitely going to check the specs out. The more it's like, wow. I mean, they really packed a lot of technology in this drone. They really did.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the Air 2 was a tremendous upgrade over the Air 1, but so just look at the specs. This may be even a greater upgrade than that upgrade. Yeah,
it really could be.
I mean, if people think that they're not going to get because this is just some kind of little incremental upgrade, no, this isn't an incremental upgrade. This is like a complete overhaul, Bill.
It really is, Ron. I mean,
except for the looks, it's a complete overall otherwise.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. You look at it, for what it is on the outside. On the outside, it looks pretty much the same as the original. But boy, oh boy, on the inside, it's a whole new game here. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the specs up. We're going to take a look at this.
Before we do that, can I give a little secret inside information?
You can definitely do that, Ron.
Folks, you can't tell anybody here, but our agent in the field, Marcus Crawford, is at a Best Buy right now. He's talked the store clerk into let him buy the drone and take it home tonight whenever the bell rings 8 p.m. in Idaho. So and Bill, you're invited to join us when Marcus gets it home and he gets dinner and whatever and he's ready. We may go live just for a few minutes for him to kind of maybe cut the box open on the air and take it out or whatever. I mean, you don't have to commit, Bill, but I'll send you the link if you want to jump in on it.
Definitely.
It's going to happen or whatever, but it will happen at some point when he gets home with it.
This is definitely definitely the kind of thing you want to celebrate, and I think that's fantastic. I'm looking to see here about. I want to see if I can bring up the specs here real quick. Where is that? That's buying guides, membership, trade up, products. Okay, overview. Let me see if I can bring that here.
Yeah. Now go to the specs now from this.
There we go. Okay. Take off weight, the dimensions, diagonal distance, maximum flight time 31 minutes, maximum wind speed resistance 8.5 to 10.5 meters a second. And the original Mini, I think it kind of topped out at 8.5. So that's a definite improvement as far as that's concerned. That's fantastic. Temperature range 32 degrees to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The frequency that it operates on, transmitter power, GPS plus GLONASS plus Galileo. That's something different. Okay, it talks about the gimbal here. Sensing system, downward hovering range, non-reflective discernible surfaces. Okay, here we go with the camera. CMS 12
I
megapixels.
forget exactly what the sensor size was on the current one. Do you remember?
I'd have to look, Ron.
I think that may be the same specs, but I'm not sure. But I have the box nearby here. I grab the box in a second. Field of view, I think, is about the same.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks the same as well too, as far as that's concerned.
I forget the aperture on the other one. Huh.
Okay, electronic shutter, max image size.
About the same, I think. I have the box of the Mini 1 here so we can compare. Okay, single shot. Okay, it can do a JPEG. It can do a JPEG in RAW. There's your panorama. It does auto exposure bracketing, which means you can shoot, multiple exposures, so you can combine them into your own HDRs if you want to, or just pick the best one. So that's a big step up. Any real photographer wants auto, the bracketed exposures.
And the bit rate, that's fantastic, Ron.
Yeah. That's a bit rate. We got, of course, 4K at 24, 25, and 30. We have 2.7 at 24, 25, 30. Kind of disappointing we don't get 60 frames per second at 2.7, because even drones like what the Hubsan and Fimi have 60 frames per second at 2.7K. And, of course, at 1080p we have up to 60 frames, which is disappointing that it doesn't have 120 or something at the 1080p. So those numbers are lacking a little bit compared to some other budget drones. But hey, I'm not really complaining. I'm just putting it out.
No, I hear you. I know exactly what you're saying.
Here's something in the video. We had nobody guessed that it had zoom. In the video, they showed zooming in.
Wow.
That totally. I heard all sorts of rumors, and they were almost all true, but nobody said it was going to have zoom.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I agree, Ron. I didn't see anything about that.
They caught the prognosticators by surprise on that one.
Yeah, they really did.
Imagine having the same zoom. I don't know if the numbers are the same, but kind of basically the same zoom performance as we get out of the air too. That's going to be a killer feature for that price point, Bill.
That price point, yeah. Again, Ron, the value for the dollar and everything, because one of the things, and I know Marcus agrees with me, and I'm sure you do too. It's like you hear these people, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to cost that much, and why do I have to spend the more money?" And my answer is, and I think you guys too. It's always look at what you're getting for this.
Bill, it's going to be harder and harder for us to answer that question when somebody says, "Should I get a Mini or a Fimi or a Hubsan?" Whatever. It's going to be harder and harder to recommend anything but this drone here if you're at an under $500 budget.
I agree, Ron. I mean, it has it has quick shot on here.
Now the other one. What did the first Mini have? Just droning? It didn't have all those other ones, right?
No, it didn't. Right. It just had Circle. Droning and Circle. Yeah, that was it. It didn't have. It makes this. There's so much on here that you think of when you think of the Air 2. I mean, the zoom on here. The OcuSync on here. The flight time on here. It's like almost might want to call it a Mini Air 2, so to speak.
And why did they remove the Mavic name from the product? They went to all that trouble to brand it a Mavic last year, and now they just call it the Mini 2.
Yeah, well, they did that. They did that with the Pocket as well.
Yeah,
and with the Ronin. So
the Osmo name brand didn't really carry the oomph that the Mavic name brand did. I mean, what did Osmo mean to most people? Not a whole lot, but Mavic does mean something to people.
Yeah, I mean, for people like you and me who've had the Mavic Pro, and it's been around a while, and it's one of those, it's like when you show a person a picture of a Phantom and you think of the iconic image of the Phantom 4. When you mention Mavic, boom, you think of the Mavic Pro, the original one. It's the same design and everything. It carries that name brand recognition, and I think that's important. And somebody in their marketing department decided, let's just shorten the name, and it's like, okay. So, are they going to do this going forward? I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. It supports FAT32 and exFAT on the file formats, which I don't know what the other one had. And photo formats, again, we know DNG RAW, so that's great. Video formats and MPEG-4. Interesting. It doesn't do .mov, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Remote controller, it lists frequency, 10 kilometers. I mean, that's pretty good.
Strong interference, urban landscape, and whatever. Our friend Mikey will be happy that it resists strong interference for those city flights.
Talking about 3 kilometers for that. Medium interference is 6 kilometers, and then low interference is 10 kilometers. So
you have to ask him, where's your link interference fit on that chart, Bill?
Yeah, really. I mean, well, it's like, for me, with OcuSync, it's off, it's gone. The only interference I get is with a Wi-Fi drone out there.
Right.
I've never gotten any issues with OcuSync on any of the drones that I found, and I fly right through that area over the lake where that hits all the time.
Speaking of OcuSync and all that, I'm going to put you in the hot seat, Bill. How many months will it take before, because the buzz is going to start any day now, how soon will this work with the smart controller, Bill?
That was, and I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren kind of told us and kind of hinted around with the Mavic Air 2, and he dropped some hints about that when it was coming out with that. And that was one of the things, that was one of those things that just perpetuated. It kind of like, it grew, it had a life of its own. And, it was one of those things, it just took a long time before we finally ended up getting it. And it was just like, all of a sudden, it was like overnight and we had it. And, my thinking is this, and this is just off the top of my head, I'm basing it a lot on, and what Lauren said, it makes a lot of sense. When a new drone comes out like this, it probably goes through a couple of firmware updates before they would consider adding something.
And correct it just a little bit. The first couple firmware updates are all going to be bug fixes.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to go through not firmware updates to add features, but firmware updates to kill bugs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's the thing. Lauren brought that up, and I think that's an important point, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, why don't they come out with it? Well, when you get the drone, it has bugs, and then you have to go in and you have to, obviously
squash them.
Yeah, you got to squash them. You got to take care of them, and DJI has been, I would say, generally speaking, and this is just a generalization, I think they've been better and more responsive and taking care of bugs lately. Whenever it crops up in a drone, especially if enough people will ping them and let them know about it. So, it's one of those things that I think is pretty good. The other thing that I wanted to talk about just for a second, batteries 5,200 milliamp and a 3.7 volt, voltage, 1,200 milliamp, 3.7 volt Android, 700 milliamp, 3.7 volt iOS. So, it's different whether you have Android or iOS, which I think
that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I was just going to say that. Maximum length, 92 millimeters for the supported mobile device size. USB ports, Lightning Micro, USB Type B, USB-C. OcuSync 2.0. Remote controller, 720p, 30 frames per second. Maximum bit rate with that, 8. And then latency, 200 on there.
And nice thing is, if the controller, which we think is the same exact size as the Air 2 controller, if you have a tablet holder for your Air 2 and you buy this drone, it'll probably fit this controller also.
Well, I have the Mav mount that I got with my original Mavic Pro, and I kept it, and I used it with my Mavic 2. It worked. It also works with, with the previous controller, and I found a way. It will work with the Air 2 controller and with this one as well. which is kind of nice. It adds, it adds a little bit of flavor, and I kind of like where it sits because the controller's on the bottom and the phone's on the top.
I definitely prefer the monitor or the device on the top rather than the bottom. Yes.
Yeah, that.
With the exception of the smart controller, which is kind of in the middle there, anyway. So
yeah, it's nothing to really worry about. Here's the battery and some of the stats on that. The app, DJI Fly, list of supported SD cards. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to drop this link in the description so you guys can go ahead and have this. And this is one of the things that I always tell people, Ron. One of the first things you should do whenever you get it is bookmark this page, because it has things that's, for example, the SD cards are on here. And, not only look at the actual cards itself, but also it talks about UHS 1 speed class 3 or above is required. That's one of the things to understand. And then below, I was going to say, there's also this tab.
And never hurts to get a card that adds specs above what they state there.
Yeah, exactly.
Higher, it's all, it's all. It can't hurt. I'm not saying it's going to make your video look twice as good, but it can't hurt.
Exactly. And then there's the download page as well, and that's another page to bookmark. And all the manuals are listed here in PDFs, and it will also have when they have firmware updates, they'll also be out here on this page as well. So definitely these are 2 pages. I'm going to go ahead, I'll drop that in the description so you guys can go ahead and have that. Ron, you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I'm going to have to run here. I got, I'm late for another drone show that I'm usually on Wednesday nights, but I hope they understand. I think some of them are out looking for the drone too, so hopefully I'm not too late over there. My closing thoughts are, this drone is everything we hope for and more. And
absolutely.
If you already own the Mavic Air 2, I'm not going to tell you got to go out and get this. It kind of repeats a lot of the stuff. But if you're a drone nerd like Bill and I, you got to have it. But and if you own the Mavic Mini 1, this is definitely a considerable upgrade. If you own a Hubsan Zeno product or a Fimi product, I think this is definitely an upgrade, especially if it does as well in the wind as they're advertising. It will definitely be a better buy. And my only thing here is I won't be getting mine until Friday, and like Bill, he won't be home from work, but in time to fly. But hopefully both of us can get this thing in the air Saturday. Who knows? We can maybe pop up with a little show on Saturday after we have time with it. What do you think, Bill?
I could set my phone on a tripod, and we could do it. Just do it live.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't tried. Actually, I haven't tried the app yet. But do you think, speaking of live, will there be any chance that down the road they will add live streaming to the Fly app, or you think that's never going to happen?
I don't know. They haven't done anything with it on the smart controller, but it would be nice because I think a lot of people really would like that option with the Mini. I think it would be a great thing. I think, especially, like 20-somethings, I think that would really kind of appeal to them.
And I think it's more important now than ever with the whole COVID thing and people kind of being, isolated, whatever, to communicate with family, friends, grandparents, grandchildren for a minute or two with kind of a live stream. I think that would be a nice touch in this year, Bill.
I think so too, Ron. I think that would be fantastic. So, and I got to echo everything that Ron said. That's kind of my closing as well. We're going to get our videos out. Probably have something out this weekend. I'll definitely join you guys. So when it's time,
because I'm going to run over to Bill T's show now, but to just watch your feed. I will send you a link as soon as Marcus gets home from Best Buy with a product in hand, and he's whatever fed, shower, whatever he has to be to get on the air.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me on today, Bill. I want to thank everybody who stopped by the chat. I see a lot of the familiar names, our good friends. Our community, is the best community in the world, Bill.
I agree 100%, Ron. We got the best people. All right. Well, thank you for coming. I'll be sure to see you later. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Stephen Ewing, thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you and everyone here that joins us. Like Ron said, we have a great community. You guys are fantastic. Appreciate all of you. David Martin Graff, welcome. I just saw you in tonight. Leonard Oglesby, I'm not sure if I saw you or not. And Ray Kelly was here tonight. That's great. Meryl 3DR, Solo Fly, Mata. Yeah, have a good one, guys. Everybody, have a great day. I mean, this is some positive news. This is something encouraging, and I hope you get some encouragement out of it. I should be able to pick mine up tomorrow night. I may do an unboxing. I don't know. I may combine it with my first flight. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to getting it and putting it through its paces and having a lot of fun. And in the meantime, so thanks for all you guys tuning in. Hope you guys take care, stay safe, and remember, as always, it's a great day to fly, guys.